Hello Mortgage Coaches, this is Jacob with Mortgage Coach Support. This video is to demonstrate how to use the new customizable term reduction and savings accumulation areas inside Edge. So what I've done here for the demonstration is I set up a current mortgage and I set up two new options to refinance. And you can see I've gone with a 30-year fixed and a 15-year fixed refinance. Now, as we can see up at the top right here, there's a difference in monthly payment. The 30-year fixed is going to save them $142 a month. The 15 year is going to cost them $146 more a month, but naturally they're going to pay this off in 15 years. So when we get to the Adjust Reinvestment Strategy area, normally, and you may be used to doing this already, you can reattribute that 141 savings there by simply typing it into the reduction payment area. But what happens if you want to account for when the MI cuts off? Now we've given you a new field here that shows you exactly where the MI cuts off. So if I want to take that monthly savings and then also add the MI onto it after month 133, I can do that now by double clicking. So note that you can double click on any reduction field here. You can double click on the savings fields to customize those, and you can double click on the investment fields. Now basically any of these that has a blue border around it, you can double click on to open up the customization. So for the case of Reinvesting MI, I'm going to double click and you can see it now opens up a new payment schedule. Now my current savings is $141.70. So starting at month 1, I'm going to start reapplying that. 141.70. Now my MI drops off at 133, and my last MI payment is $215.09. So what happens at month 134? I want to take this $215 and I want to add it to the $141.70. That's going to give me a new payment of $356.79. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add another line item. I'm going to put this one for month 134. Then I'm going to take my $356.79 and I'm going to start that as a payment. So I'll type that in, $356.79. Now what this is indicating is that from months 1 to months 134, I'm going to have an additional reduction payment of $141.70. After that MI drops off at month 134, I've now added in the last MI payment on top of it. So now I'm reinvesting not only the payment savings that I'm getting from the refinance, but also the MI after it's dropped off. Now once you hit OK, you can see what this now does to our freedom point. It's now down to 20.75 years, and it also now shows a custom indicator right here. Now if you need to go back in and edit it again, you always can by simply double clicking on this, and it will allow you to edit the matrix again. As I said before, you can do that in any one of these fields, so feel free to mix and match. You can do a little bit of term reduction and then maybe a little bit of a savings investment, completely up to you in terms of how you want to do it. So another one that's fairly common that I get asked is, how do I indicate a lump sum payment? So what I'm going to show is a lump sum payment on this 15 year. So I'm going to double click so that I can customize. And let's say that lump sum is coming in 5 years from now. They know that they're getting a $10,000 stipend from something and they want to reinvest that into their mortgage. So I'm going to go to month 60 and I'm going to indicate that $10,000. Now that's a single payment of $10,000. Now if I did nothing else and added no additional line items, this is going to anticipate that every month after that would be an additional $10,000 payment. Obviously that's not what we want. So what we're going to do is we're going to add an additional line item for month 61 and have it be a zero amount. Now you've got your lump sum payment at month 60 and then no further payments after that point. Once you click OK, you can see what that's done. It's actually reduced the freedom point to 14.17 years on this 15-year note. Now if you do it in one of these savings areas, savings or accumulation, it will show up in your net worth. So when you're choosing your long-term areas in your analysis screen, you have the option of principal paid, net worth, or interest and MI paid. The net worth is going to be a function of their total equity plus any liquid assets that you've developed for them. So make sure anytime you use accumulation, you want to at least show them the net worth at some point during your presentation. Now same concept applies. You can double click on these and you can do the line itemization just like we did in the last one. Now when you get to the finalized report, you're going to see that the customer now has a way to view this as well. So let's preview the report. Now when you go into the more info section, and pop open the reinvestment grid, there's now a button here that says custom. So now when your client is viewing this presentation, they can hit this custom button and they can see the actual payment schedule of what's going to happen here. Once they hit OK, it's closed and it's available again by simply clicking the button again. This would happen for any of these fields that you decide to customize. If you do the savings payment or the investment payment, they would also show a custom button. Now, one further thing you can do is inside your investment grid, if instead of doing a $10,000 lump sum payment to principal, what if I wanted to do it to a savings account or an investment vehicle? So I'm going to go into this custom and I'm going to clear out these rows. So I'm going to delete it, delete, and hit OK. So now there's no customization going on anymore. But what if I have been told that I've got an investment account that gets a 3% rate of return, and I want to take that $10,000 payment that I'm getting at month 60 and I want to put it into that investment vehicle and allow it to grow. So I'm going to double click here. I'll put this one in at month 60, $10,000. Then I got to make sure and add that additional line item to cut it off, then hit OK. Now notice when you do this, it doesn't adjust the freedom point because you're not making a payment into the loan. Rather, you're making a payment into this investment vehicle, and you can see at the 15-year point, they've now got 13.4 in that account. Now there's an additional item here that you can check. It's called payoff first with accumulation. When you choose to do this, what happens is when they have enough in the accumulated accounts here to pay off the remaining balance of the loan, it'll pay off the loan and then continue accumulating after that point. And you can see that once I check the box, it's now reduced my freedom point down to 14.17 years. That's the point at which I'll have enough in my balance to be able to pay off the remaining note and start accumulating again. So that's why you see a new balance down here at the bottom. But if you guys have any further questions on this, let us know over here at support. We'd be happy to help you. Thank you much. Have a great day.